Hello, it's me, Colleen, and I'm here to do a reading for you. I really wanted to just kind of do a little bit of some sound stuff and maybe some dowsing rods today. So first I wanted to just kind of do a little call in my higher power, my guides and guardians, and all those of the highest and purest light. And I ask that Archangel Michael protect my channel and your channel. And I ask that any and all messages that we receive are only of the highest and purest light. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Take a deep breath, hold it for a few seconds, and hum it into your heart. Ooh, weave it into your heart. Take another breath, hold it. Hum it into your heart, weave it into your heart. One more. Ooh. All right. So I wanted to just cleanse the area. Little Palo Santo. Cleansing the room. Cleansing the space. Blessing the space. Blessing my space here. Blessing you. Okay. So it's been kind of crazy out there these days. And so I thought I would do a few things. Kind of some magic and kind of cleanse the energies of what's going on. I did pull a few cards. Excuse me. Pulled a few cards from the Heart Path Oracle. I really felt like we needed some guidance in our hearts right now with what is going on in the chaos in our country. And so what I pulled is I bow to you, shifting paradigms. That was the first card I pulled. And it's true, we are shifting paradigms. Notice how, okay, the bobcats, they all have like just a little third eye, right? They kind of have that third eye opening going on. And the bison is just a powerful force of tradition and ancestral connections. And if you'll notice right down in here, there's a little um, praying mantis. And then up here in the back, there's all these buildings, like, skyscrapers and stuff. And see the little heart or the bird in the clouds. To me, we're shifting paradigms. It's a timeline shift. And are we going to jump it, or are we going to stay here in this horrible place that we are in America right now, that we're in? It's just this crazy place. I'm having a hard time with it. I'm trying to keep my heart open. I feel like we really need to connect to our communities and stuff. And so that actually brings me to the next card that I had pulled, called the Holy Grail. So this one is, to me, kind of a connection to community, connection to the fairy realm. The chipmunks down there at the bottom, they're kind of connected to the fairy realm. And see how the eggs are, some of them are hatched, some of them are cracking, one is birthing out, but it's a process that's happening. We're in it right now. We're in the Holy Grail. We need to expand our hearts and our minds to let the paradigm shift. We need to fight the fear and fight the anger and fight the terrorism that's going on in our country right now with community, which was the third card that I pulled out. It's the community card. And if you can see, they all have these little animals inside of there's the frog and the dolphin, there's the rabbit, there's the bird, there's the horse. I thought that was interesting that the horse got pulled, and then of course the butterfly, which is just transformation. It's a transformative time right now. The intimate dance of beliefs and emotions. There is strength in numbers, and we need to remember this. We need to find our community and make our communities. We need to come together, is really what this reading was telling me, is that we just need to find our chuthers. We need to find each other, our chuthers. We need to find our chuthers, and we need to build the communities that we want to see. We can't just let the fear own us. We have to actually fight it. Because what we are doing, this was the last card that I had pulled from that deck, is programming your highest intentions, moving quickly through your current situation. And with the astrology that's going on and stuff, that's what's going on. We are absolutely transforming. Our world is transforming. And we just have to make the focus be, we need to program our highest intentions. We need to not let the current situation that is happening in our country right now ruin what we want. We can't let it take away what we want to see in our world. We have to find the community, find the ways to expand our hearts and our minds. We need to work and wait and be patient, not stop, not fight. That's not what I'm saying. But we need to manifest what we really want in our world and what we want our country to look like. This is our country. You know, there's more of us than there are of them. And we really don't need to give our power away to them. You know, we opening the card deck. This one is the Wisdom of the Elders Oracle. And Spirit, what else do we need to know about how do we build this community and how do we get our intentions happening in the right way so that they're directed in the ways that we want and need to see our world be. So 3 cards came out. We got okay. So this grandfather son sacred fire gratitude, which is a 14. This card says to me that the way that we really find our community is trying to find the gratitude of actually this is saying to me that we need to do some rituals to strengthen our energy as a community, that we need to come together because as a whole, when we're together and we're all raising our intentions to a specific vibe and energy, then we can, you know, through gratitude, because gratitude is love, right? And fear can't live in love. And then we got Winter Elder. This card is saying to me that we need to listen to, and notice how the Elder has the 3 shadows instead of just 1. He's being guided too. We are all being guided by our higher power. And we have to remember to listen to our ancestors and know that they've won many fights. And this is a fight we're in for our country. The last card I got here was a 31, 2 spirit balance. 2 spirit balance. Which is, come on, is it not? Feels like it's not focusing. 2 spirit balance. This is basically saying to me that I mean, 2 spirit people are the LGBTQ and the trans people, those people, the gender, you know, forward people they're very vulnerable right now. I mean, they're really, I think that we need to find community and not go straight to the guns. We need to understand that when we do that, we're actually making the situation worse. We are making those communities less safe. Because if we pull out our guns, then we're giving them permission to execute us in the streets. Yeah. We need to find the balance. The balance is important. We need to find the love. We need to make the love happen. We're kind of stuck in this zone of just fear and intimidation and manipulation. This is the Star Oracle, or Star Tarot. And it feels to me like feels like a dire situation, but we can't let it be. That feels like that's what they want. They feed on our fear. They feed on our anger. These things, the frequency of fear actually has a way of kind of entraining us to it, just like the frequency of love. And if we, like when we're just scrolling, doom scrolling, and we're putting all of our energy, anger energy, fear energy, anger and fear, same thing. When we put all of our energies into those things, it feeds the machine. And yeah, I just wrote a paper about that in my Substack about feeding the machine and how we are doing that through the fear. I mean, I think everybody needs to get out in the streets. Absolutely. I think that we need to find the community. I was watching one lady online. She said that a really good thing to do is duct tape over your street signs so that they don't know where they are. They're coming from outside. They don't know where they are. They're strangers in your neighborhood. Block them out, Block your streets with your cars so they can't get in. Don't give them the space to come in and kidnap your community. Don't give them the space to terrorize you, Or me. I mean, any of us, we're all part of this. Don't get me wrong. I am definitely in it. And, I'm a woman in this country, and I understand that, I don't really have the power. Unless I make myself have the power, unless I give myself the power, unless I don't tell myself that, right? If I tell myself I don't have the power, then what am I doing, right? That's exactly what, yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to try and catch ourselves when we're in that moment and we're like talking ourselves down or saying it can never change, or, when we say there's no way that this could be, or, we have to understand that when we talk ourselves out of it or give ourselves excuses or, don't actually follow through on what our heart is telling us to do, then they have the power. That's the point, right? Conformity before any of it. And then the first card I pulled from the Star Tarot was Strength. This card, see how she's holding a snake there? right? And then the lion is guiding her. I just found a really cool the silver lioness, the silver lionesses, the older white women that are fighting the fight for everyone. But it's the infinity. It's a constant motion, and it's a reality that we can make. We can make it what we want. We can either keep going in the fear, or we can find the strength to actually move through it. Then I got Temperance, 14. See, there's two paths. There's two paths. We have a choice. Temperance is patience, but it's also heart chakra. See how they're pouring the cup from one to the other? Water is memory. There is water in everything. Everything in our world. Anything and everything with life. And that means the earth, the trees, the sky, the birds, all the animals, the humans. Our bodies are 88% water. It's water has plasma too. And then we get the Five of Wands, which fives are basically a struggle. You know, wands are fire, so it's passion, action, energy. I always think of them as messages too, for wands. It's our staff of power. But Five of Wands, this card says to me that we need to find our center. We need to just let it bloom in our hearts and then explode out our minds. And we need to all come together and think about what it is that we can do as a community. How do we gather our community? How do we find our center? How do we let it bloom in our hearts through love? Because it doesn't matter if it's love or if it's fear. If it's fear, it's going to do the same thing, right? Fear, we can build it, we can hold it, and then it's going to explode and we'll feed the machine. They want our fear because they can't control us if we're not in fear. That's really the bottom line. If we hold fear and anxiousness and oh my God, they have control. That's really it. Excuse me. We can't let them have control. We have to find our power and take it back. Not let them, run our world. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck, I got the Queen of Swords, which is literally take your power back. Internalize it. The swords is the knowledge. We do have the knowledge. We have it. We know what we need to do. We just need to gather our community. We need to make a plan, you know. We need to program our highest intentions. We need to focus on what we want. What do we want? What do we want our world to look like? This is a major turning point in America, in the world, really. We are shifting paradigms. And we need to open up our third eye and listen to what not listen, but use the rituals, use the sacred fire, use the things, the tools that we have to build our strength through love, through gratitude. Because we don't have the strength if we don't feed our inner power. We have to expand our hearts and our minds. And actually this tree, this plant here, is called, I think it's Iranian or Iraqi. It's called the shield plant. It's the shield plant, which is really interesting to me because that's basically what we need to do. We need to shield our hearts and our minds from the chaos that does create the fear that they're controlling us through. And then the next card on the bottom of the deck, I got with the Queen of Cups, right? So the Queen of Cups just reinforces we need to use our power. We need to use our strength, our knowledge, right? We need to use our knowledge from the Queen of Swords, from the heart. We need to do it from the heart because if we do it from the heart, they can't win. There's no winning. Fear cannot live in love. And I know it's really hard right now. I don't think it's an easy task for us. I don't think we have an easy task ahead of us. But I do believe that if we come together and find our community and just strengthen our core local community and let the ethers do what they're doing, but if we don't feed it with our energy, they can't keep going. We choose the timeline we want to go down. And then we can have the Nine of Cups. We just have to choose love. It is a choice. You know, temperance. We have the choice. We can go down the dark path or the light path. You know, which do we want to our world to look like? It's up to us. We manifest our whole reality. You know, what are we going to feed? What are we going to feed? All right, well, that's my message. I hope it helps a little bit with you guys, and I love you all. And, yep, I'm Colleen Morningstar, if you don't know. And, yeah, I'm a sound engineer and an intuitive healer. And I've been reading tarot for all my life. And, my mom was a tarot reader, too. My mom was an astrologer, and I'm an astrologer on some level. I cast charts and I do things. I don't do it by hand like my mom did, but I do cast charts, and you know, and I'm just here to try to wake up our hearts and wake up our understanding that we create our reality. And so I come in and show you breath work, and I come in with sound healing things, and I come in with tarot readings. And little meditations of breath and practices that we can do, and tea recipes and things that we can do to help center our nervous system, our vagus system, and, keep ourselves centered in control of the situation and not let them have that which they want, and that is fear. So we're not giving it to them. We're done with that. No fear. Only strength in community and building endurance through that. All right. So that's my little 2 cents, my little soapbox. And yeah, all right. I love you guys and have a good day.